called design, build, and launch. So we're going to design a product based upon a big idea. We're going to create a client journey based upon a framework called the XYZ Bridge. Okay, that's a client journey framework. We're going to build a core asset. Okay, the core asset is going to be an application, and we're going to build other products that are going to go around that core asset. We're going to build them with our words, and then we're going to end up using agentic AI, the famous AI tool, and the Deal AI platform to build the actual products. Then we're going to build out how do we sell it. We're going to sell it by creating products from the words, and we're going to create what we call a net zero funnel. That'll be sometime tomorrow. And the platform that we're going to build is going to have a lot of features. This is the white label Deal platform. We can create a custom community, custom academies, custom knowledge bases of our own information, AI chatbots, and AI applications. And I'm going to simplify this as we go. And then we're going to go ahead at the end of tomorrow. David's actually going to launch the product that we built today. So think about it. We can build and launch something in 48 hours. All right. So that we can create more wealth, so that we can use our first mover advantage and our technology advantage while we have it. And then we're going to teach you how to buy media. Okay. So here's I'm going to spend about 20 minutes talking to you about these 4 shifts, and then we're going to get right into building. I think the next generation of wealth won't come from businesses that use AI, which are consumers. It's going to come from those that own it. And how you can join these industrialists, right? These are AI industrialists, like the Industrial Revolution, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts were all first movers in the Industrial Revolution. They built the tools that people used. Everybody else used the tools that they built. So you are going to be an industrialist. You're going to be building AI tools that will run the companies of the future. Like, you're going to own those tools. I think all wealth is created. And if you don't remember anything I tell you, remember this: all wealth is created through ownership. Okay. And owning everything, owning your tools, owning the market, owning a brand, owning the offers, owning your own time, owning your own location independence. I'm talking about tangible and intangible wealth, right? The freedom to move anywhere in the world and not have to shut off the income machine. The freedom to be able to build a solution using AI tools that could put you on the map. All wealth is created through ownership. And these 5 secret shifts to AI wealth creation in 2025 and beyond. So how to build your own AI platform in under a month and launch it to a profitable enterprise. Okay, you can do all this in much less than a month, but give yourself a month and no more, because there's no reason on earth that you can't launch your idea and test it out in the world in record time. So there's 2 sides of the table. There's going to be the users, which I think is going to be about 99% of the world, and then the industrialists, people like yourselves that are going to build your own tools and actually own them. So we've created white label solutions that you can build AI solutions and applications and platforms, and you can private label them in your own brand instantly for a small amount of money, not a big amount of money, hundreds of dollars, not hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours, maybe, right? Not thousands of hours. Okay. And you need leverage to do this. So one of my favorite quotes about leverage is, give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I can move the world. So there are levers to wealth creation. I want you to understand that. It's a great book that I read and I tell people to read. If you haven't, by Eric Jorgensen. And it's a collection of Naval Ravikant's tweets. He's the angel investor, and he has some incredible concepts in here. He's a big fan favorite of Tim Ferriss. It's like, what are the 4 levers of wealth creation? There are literal levers, and all 4 of these at some point will come into play in any meaningful endeavor, any meaningful enterprise. The first lever is obvious, the lever of labor. And so we all know about how to hire someone, train someone, hope that they show up, and hope that they perform, and hope that they stay through labor. So you can pay someone an amount of money and create a leverage of wealth on their labor and their efforts. The second leverage, and that's not a lot of fun sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, you can get smoked. The second lever is the leverage of capital. So you can actually raise money, someone else's money, OPM, right? Other people's money, and apply it to your idea and you can have a leverage of a multiplier effect because you have capital to do things that you normally couldn't do without capital. The challenge with lever number one and lever number two is it requires permission. It requires someone else's permission to do that. Someone else's permission to hire them, someone else's permission to raise money. This is the lever that we're really focusing on, the leverage of code. Creating a code, writing code without knowing how to write code that can lever a repeatable process that could save people money, that could make people money, that could save people time, that could elevate their status, that could connect them with other people like this. These are the big companies in the world. We have Amazon, right? Leveraging code. We got Facebook, we got Apple. These companies are writing code. They have labor, they have capital, but they're leveraging their core asset is code. So I want to get you into the point where you are leveraging code. And the last lever, and we had a big discussion about this at our wealth club meeting last month, or actually last weekend, where you're leveraging media. Like you're leveraging all these platforms that give you access to free media and paid media so that people see what you built, right? One of the problems is people without a leverage of media, you might have built something and no one's even going to see it. You don't want to become the best kept secret of an awesome product. You want to have people see it, and you can leverage media to do that. So we're going to talk about these throughout the day. And this is, small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life, which is Matthew 7:13. Like the narrow door, the narrow gate is the one that the industrialist goes through because it's harder, right? It's easy to sign up for ChatGPT and play with it and create something fun and interesting, whether it's a joke or an email, or you're dabbling with AI and you're getting a really good result. Everyone's doing that now. The secret's kind of out. Anybody in business is already using AI. It wasn't out when we did our first event, but can you build an enterprise that is meaningful, that has high quality impact level tools based upon deep research, based upon an understanding of a marketplace, building unique technology and solutions that you own? That takes more work, right? I'll do it quickly in front of you, but there's more work to be done. It's called the narrow gate, and there's not a lot of people going through the narrow gate. Same is true with health, right? Everybody over here wants a pill. Very few people want to go to the gym, want to get a trainer, want to eat right. Like it's the narrow gate in anything. You want to be going through this door, and I want you to be going through the door. It's discipline, ethics, fewer people. I always say there's less traffic up there, right? It's a shorter road. So it's invisible in the early stages, but leads to lasting changes. So founders with infrastructure that solve complex problems, that take the time to understand the root issues. Let me tell you the benefits of being an industrialist. And this is my grandmother and my grandfather. This is Anna Mae Fitzgerald and John Manning. That's the first and last name of my grandmother. Now I know the last name of both of their parents, right? But tell me truthfully, who here knows the first and last name of their great grandparents? Think about that. Do you know the first and last name? Put a 1 if you know the first and last name of your great grandparents. There's a reason I'm asking this question. I'm just curious. Who knows the first and last name? Put a 2 if you don't. Everybody put a 2 if you don't. And my assumption is almost everybody doesn't. And there's a reason for that, by the way. And I know it's a lot of people. Okay, so why don't I know her mom and dad's first and last name, and his mom and dad's first and last name, and her grandmother's first and last name, and his grandmother and grandfather's first and last name? Okay, there's a reason. Look at this guy. Here's the reason. That's J.D. Rockefeller. So if you're a 5th generation of J.D. Rockefeller, do you think J.D. Rockefeller's great grandkids at this point now, because he was in the 1800s, do you think that they know his first and last name? Put a 1 in the chat if you think J.D. Rockefeller's grandkids and great-great-grandkids know his first and last name. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's the case. Okay, yeah, everyone knows that. Why? Give me a 1-word answer why they know his first and last name. 1 word. I want to read them off. Legacy, innovator, legacy, success, money. There it is. People that are the great-great-grandparents of J.D. Rockefeller getting a check every single month with his name on it, the Rockefeller Foundation. So he is Illuminati. Well, I don't want to go there, but I'll tell you how he made his money. He didn't make his money in oil. He made his money in royalties. But he made enough money so that there's always a check. And there's lots of examples of other people than Rockefeller, but he set up a foundation so that people are being paid. So if you want your name to be remembered 100 years after you're gone, you want to set yourself up as an industrialist and imagine having checks flowing into your family 200 years from now because of the efforts that you did. After you're long gone, you're dirt, right? The only way you'll be remembered if you had some kind of foundation set up and some kind of legacy. So this is the second idea I want to teach you. This is Bezos, and this is an AI-generated picture of him. Pretend this is a young Jeff Bezos in New York City. He's working for a financial company. He's got an elite job, a top 1% earner, walking in the park one day, and Bezos goes to his mentor. He goes, "I've got an idea." He goes, "What's that, Jeff?" He said, "I want to start an online bookstore on the internet." And the guy's trying to talk him out of it. He goes, "Dude, you're out of your mind. You have one of the best jobs on Wall Street. You're respected. You've already made it. You literally can do no wrong and still be successful." And you know what Bezos told him? He goes, "I do not want to be on my deathbed and look back at my life and regret that I didn't get in on the internet when it was available." He called this framework deathbed regret minimalization framework. So do you want to be on your deathbed, right? And half the work is done. You're here on a Saturday. Like half the work is done. But if you do not implement, it's nothing. There'll be no legacy and there will be regret minimalization because you're going to think of an idea and a year from now, someone else is going to launch that idea if you don't. And you're going to see it and you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. So the reason I show you this is make sure you're aware that our time will come to an end on this planet. And no one knows that more than me because in 2016, I was terminally ill with less than a month left to live. Here, I tell you more about that. Literally terminal ill with no chance of survival. So I had already prepared to say goodbye to my family. And I would not be in a place where my name would be remembered in 200 years, the way I was going to die. Thankfully, I didn't die. But here's the third concept. This is Warren Buffett. It's supposed to be Warren Buffett with Charlie Munger because they have an investment philosophy. And I talk to people about this when I'm presenting them with a solution to their problem. When Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger buy a company, they buy it at a discount and they buy it with cash. So they're leveraging capital. They have a method and a process they call optionality. Optionality is an example when the upside of a decision is so high and the downside is either zero or low. Okay. Example is if you built a mobile application in a niche market and you had a white label product and you decided to go all in, right? You spent several $1,000s, not tens of thousands of dollars, by the way, several $1,000s, and maybe you did 100 to 200 hours and you launched a business and you went all in with all your heart and all your effort. The upside is massive, absolutely massive. Like you could literally become what I call a virtual millionaire or a virtual multi-million. I'll explain that in a second. What's the downside? The downside is you lose a few grand in some hours of your life. Like it's optionality at its finest, like the AI business. And by the way, whoever you do this with, it doesn't have to be me or 1000X or Famous AI or Deal AI, but it has to be somebody because the optionality is undeniable. And I'll talk to you quickly about it while I have everybody here and their minds are fresh. So there are two types of millionaires, right? There are people that have a net worth of over $1 million. All right. And I was a financial planner for almost 30 years. So I've recruited, trained, and developed thousands of advisors. And I taught them how to create wealth and how to manage money. And I taught them a lot of stuff, how to market to get your practice growing. So if you're a millionaire at retirement and you say to a financial advisor, take my $1 million and give me income. How much income? I'm just curious. Does anyone know how much income $1 million produces a month in a financial environment? Basically, it's about 4%. So the rule of thumb, which is a guideline, it says you can basically take no more than 4%. Rick Powell said 3K. Rick, you're right on the money. $3,000 to $3,500 a month is the equivalent of a virtual millionaire. Because if you had $1 million and you needed to get income off it, you would get about 3K a month. Doesn't sound like a lot, right? I'm a millionaire, but I can't afford to live in Boston. You wouldn't be close to be able to live in Boston as a millionaire. Cost of living is amongst the highest in the world. So to become a virtual millionaire or a virtual multimillionaire, all you have to do, everybody, is create enough recurring income equal to that. So if you create a business that creates $3,000 a month of recurring profit, you are a virtual millionaire because you have the same amount of income and lifestyle that a millionaire has. So you can keep applying it. If you have $3 million, you're creating 9K a month. Just to give you some perspective, I launched an app with my son and my team called Bible Launch, and we launched that app in December, and we're already the equivalent of a virtual multimillionaire with a piece of code and an application that teaches people how to read, customizes their Bible journey, gives them tools and frameworks to get more out of the tool, save them a ton of time, give them more impact. That all happened in 4 months? And it's just going to get more and more and more. So if that income off of that endeavor can get to 10 million a month, right? Or 30 million a month, it's the equivalent, or I'm sorry, 30,000 a month is the equivalent of having $10 million. So get your arms around that. If you haven't saved as much as you could, okay, I'm not here to beat you up about it. I'm here to tell you that you can apply energy and effort into your expertise and create a recurring income to be like a millionaire or a multimillionaire. It's not that hard to do. And even remember, I said the disclaimer, it takes work, it takes effort, it takes trial and error, it takes all in, but it's not that difficult to generate a business that generates that kind of income. It's done every single day. And there's no reason why you can't. So optionality is the third idea of the industrials. When you make your investment into something, make sure that the upside is massive and the downside is low. Negative optionality is the opposite. When the upside isn't significant, but the downside is low or high, like doing drugs, right? That's a negative optionality. Like doing drugs, what are you going to feel better for a couple hours? The downside is you could die, right? That's negative optionality. And the same is true with some businesses. Okay, so I'm going to get to the shifts right now and walk through these for a few minutes, and then we're going to get to building. Shift number one is this. What used to take months now takes minutes. Get your arms around that. Whatever used to take months and years can now be done in minutes or a day. That's new. So in other words, if there's a problem, a solution can be built in minutes, not months. So you should always have your antennas up to what problems exist that you can build a solution for. That's a big part of being an entrepreneur. Like that's a simple shift. I wrote this book, for example, the 1 hour book, How to Write a Book in Record Time with AI. I wrote that book and published it on January 15th, 2023. I republished it on September 22nd, 2024. Thousands of people read this book and used the frameworks in the book to write a book. To my knowledge, I was the first AI book writing system. And we still write books for people every single day. Alex and I are writing that book about how the conquerors had the technology that allowed them to conquer. And we're going to create a book and a story around all of the historical technology that these conquerors had. Hitler had the Blitzkrieg. Everybody had a technology. All the great warriors had something that they had as an advantage over the market. And for me, I was first mover in this space. And I've re-released this. This is a very good product. And I've built this product and built many, many products in its ecosystem. Okay, so this is our event in 2023, packed. I didn't even really know AI. The one thing I knew is you could talk to it and you can get a lot of incredible results. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my team here. I'm retired CEO of MassMutual Northern New England. The condition that I was dying from was acute stage 4 liver failure from lifestyle, alcohol, and just a guy that made too much money and had too much fun. And I had some genetic issues, but I was terminally ill. I've reinvented myself completely after. best-selling author, TEDx speaker. I'm the founder of this company. My sons are both online, David and Joseph, and another team member named Danny. We're a small team, but we carry a big impact. We can teach you how to do a lot of things really, really quickly. Some of the things we've done is certified AI specialist. We've done certified AI trainer. We just built a brand new product that we're going to tell you about at the end of the day today. Certified AI app builder, brand new certification that we're going to be launching in 2 weeks. And you're going to be invited into that. And you're going to want to do it after you see what we do. The 1 hour book series, Bible launch. So I've done a lot of things. Just a few pictures to give you a little bit of what my background is. 1991, I started knocking on doors selling life insurance. And I did it until 2016, literally 25 years to the day. And I figured out a few things along the way. One of them was how to market. Became a copywriter and started writing leads. Blew up financially and also physically, as you can see here. I was almost 300 pounds in that picture. And in this picture, I was 350 pounds, morbidly obese, and a lot of stuff was brewing in the inside here. And then, went into the hospital, acute end stage liver failure. I was just about dead when I was given a gift of the ultimate gift. Someone died who was a match for my organ, and he was a prisoner. And through the grace of God and the angels at Mayo Clinic, my life was saved unexpectedly, honestly. And so I had an opportunity to kind of reinvent myself, and I did that by just doing things one at a time. Thinking about eliminating things that weren't good for me and adding things that were good for me, and then just making progress every single day. And, I'm still here to share whatever wisdom I can with you. But I can tell you this, you can recover from anything. You can reinvent yourself into anything. And AI is the ultimate tool for transformation. Like, you can write anything, build anything, and do anything with this new companion. All right. So just to get your arms around that before we build. Here's another thing that is a byproduct of months to minutes is you can build a product quickly, but you can also build an entire ecosystem. So the key to wealth is creating a method of acquisition that maximizes lifetime value of the customer. So they may buy a small product, but there's more things that they can buy that you can build. So today we're going to build a product, a core product, and then we're also going to build an entire ecosystem. So the ecosystem is the base of the product. Sometimes it's a book, like the 1 hour book is an ecosystem, but you can build other things on top of the book, workbooks, courses, apps, all kinds of things, events, different engagements. So that's the ecosystem. And there's a lot of great examples. This is Russell Brunson. He looks like he's 15 years old, but he's probably worth $3-4 billion. He's got $170 million of annual revenue. So that's probably a software. It's probably a 10x or so. His company's worth probably 1.7 billion, right? Think about that. And it all came from a book. He built the book. He built the software. He built, events. He built the culture. And it's a classic example of how one big idea that was put into a book can be built into lots of things. Dave Ramsey did it for financial peace. Like, he did it for basically fundamental financial issues that aren't terribly sophisticated for unsophisticated buyers. Like, he built an entire movement. In fact, I don't agree with almost everything he says about wealth creation, by the way. Pay off your mortgage, buy term insurance, have no debt. Like, those are not principles that a Rockefeller or an industrialist would ever take on. They take on lots of debt. They take lots of chances. But he has a $515 million business off of a book that he turned into a radio show that he now has all kinds of 1,400 people working for him. So he's been doing it a long time. And this guy did it as well. Covey did it with leadership based upon the 7 habits. So the ecosystem is when you build products that go around your idea. All right. So a core asset could be a book, could be an app, could be a platform, could be a course, could be a method. Like the 7 habits, right? That's really more than a book. It's a training and certification program. All right. So now you have it. Secret shift number 3. And this one you're not going to kind of get it until I explain it to you, but there's a shift that's happening the way people buy, going from pipeline to platform. What do I mean? So the old way of building a product and then going through the line to the customer is dead. it's too expensive to get this customer back into the store. So when you're making effort in products, you want to drop that customer into what's called a platform. And I'll give you a quick example. So like in the vacation space, people would go online, they'd buy a plane ticket. They'd get a car from a different site. They'd get dinner at an online app. So this customer is using all kinds of different individual products to book their vacation, their hotels, and their excursion. A platform is when you put everything on one platform and they can get access to all the products while they're there. So they don't have to leave to make another purchase. An example that I use is a cruise ship. So a Disney cruise ship is an example of a platform. So you have the Disney enthusiast, they get on the ship, and once they're on the ship, Disney sells them a room. They got all these things that they spend on board. So the onboard spending is where the platform comes in. This family can go everywhere. They can go get food. They can go get services. They can do boutique stuff. They can go outside the ship on excursions. They can gamble. They can be entertained. All of those are things that Disney makes a profit on. 90% of the Disney profit is onboard spending. So when you get a customer to buy something from you, you deliver it on a platform. That way they're in your ecosystem and they can start wandering around your business because you're steering the ship and your product enthusiast is there buying the first product. You can create your own offers to that customer that are your offers. You can give them training and certifications and tools. You can create community. You can build applications. You can build bots, and you can build a marketplace of affiliate offers that you can create as a profit center. So platform marketing is big. And I'll show you a couple examples. In Bible Launch, we have a number of products that we offer on the platform that make it better. So let me give you a quick example here. This is a book. This is based upon a book that's in the public domain. So I don't need permission from anybody to start to build tools to help people read the Bible quicker. So I built a tool called Bible Launch. And Bible Launch is the app platform. It's got 30 or 40 applications and chatbots that allow you to read, learn, leverage, and launch the Bible in record time. But I also have a community. I have a daily Bible study product that we sell. I have books that I've published. I have audiobooks that I've published. I have custom journeys that I sell. I have a product that helps someone write their own faith story. And I also sell them my certification because we put these products in after we built Bible Launch and people were buying them. And then we have a pastor's package. And we have other products that we're going to be selling, merchandise and customers. So when you look at this, you have a situation where you have them on the platform and they can buy lots of stuff from you. It's too expensive to get people on your platform again. Even, people don't answer emails. They don't even get it. Sometimes they don't even get through, and it's hard to advertise and expensive to get them back into your store. So platform marketing is the future. Trust me. The last shift I'm talking about is generative versus agentic AI. A lot of you know that you can generate a great answer with ChatGPT, right? You can ask it something and it'll generate an answer. By the way, any LLM will do that in a high quality way, wherever you use it. I use a lot of tools, but I'm used to ChatGPT. I actually have the pro version because I like to deep research. But agentic AI is where the AI is doing something for you. So at the time of this PowerPoint, we only had one agentic AI. We had PitViper, which is private label version of what Deal has, which is called Lead Falcon. So this is a trained AI agent that will take a lead and instantly follow up with that lead. Because 99% of leads, about that number, they don't buy in the first try. They said they're interested. They looked at it. They didn't buy for a lot of reasons, mostly timing or resources, but they may buy later. So this AI engages with that customer and follows up with them, and it's optimized to book an appointment. Think about that. So, and for example, if someone lands on my landing page and buy, and I collected the information, I can engage them instantly. People that follow up with leads the fastest win now. I mean, it's minutes, not days anymore, or hours. If you're doing hours and days, you lose. So you can train an AI to do that for you. And we're going to teach you how to do that. So do you want to become an industrialist, a 1.5% of the owner, or do you want to become a user, which is the 99%? So my coaching is become an industrialist. This is my legacy. These are my 2 grandkids. And I would like nothing better, than to provide for them and their children and their children, right? Proverbs 13:22, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous, right? So this is what I want to have happen. Many, many years from now, right? 100 years from now, someone's getting a check with my name on it from a foundation. That means I've performed for my family. That's the working backwards from perfect. Like Covey said, begin with the end in mind. That is my goal. So the question is, what type of platform, what type of apps, how to monetize your IP, what you've built, how do you structure it, how do you build it? And this is where we're going to start to go into the process of the actual wealth build, designing the products, funnels, the platform, and the media buyer. Okay. So if you don't know what to do, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this right now. There's a great book out there called Steal Like an Artist. I show it every single time I speak, because some people are sitting here with all this technology, and a lot of people know exactly what to do. They know exactly what to do, but most people don't. They're not sure. Steal Like an Artist is a book about creativity, and it's the 10 things nobody told me about being creative. Most ideas are hiding in plain sight, right? Most products that you're seeing already existed in its environment, but somebody put them together. I'll give you an example. In Steal Like an Artist, they talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan copied a guy named Dr. J, who probably copied a guy named Havlicek, right? And then who copied Michael Jordan? Kobe, LeBron James. Okay, go into music. The Beatles, George, Ringo, John, and Paul copied Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, and Chuck Berry. They literally were playing covers for those bands, and they started becoming the Beatles. They're just putting together new stuff with old stuff. And the same is true in talk show hosts. Jack Benny was copied by Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson was copied by Letterman. Letterman was copied by Conan and Jay Leno, and then Jimmy Fallon, and then the other clowns that followed. Of course, it's crazy political now. But they're basically, the framework of the talk show is not a new idea. So if you read this book, you can figure out how to steal like an artist. So the star of this program is going to be the Deal platform. And you're going to see it's literally an AI business in a box, because it has all of these purpose-built applications. This is the canvas that we're going to be teaching you off of today. The Deal AI platform has about 40 applications that are purpose-built for business. And it has the ability for you to create your own knowledge bases, store your own information, program a knowledge base, and create applications that interact with it, and AI personalities. So we're going to be building a lot of these today. All right. So these are the 3 parts of the Deal platform. The base toolkit is the 60 applications that you can fully white label. You literally could buy a Deal subscription, white label it, change every single name of every single app, put a new icon in there, and put a different format in there, and it would be yours to sell as your own. And the base kit also comes with all the tools to promote and attract customers and follow up with them. These are all included in one bundle. This is a pretty powerful platform. Allows you to completely customize it. Private label ready, custom layouts, custom marketing levels, custom product levels, community courses, and you can do live training right out of the app. And then finally, what I call the Inventor's Kit is where you can build your own knowledge bases, build your own AI personalities and bots, build your own applications and academy. So that's what it does. So all the things in the white label needed for a business are all in there. And then the custom stuff is the community, the app, the knowledge base, and the products. Let me give you a couple examples right now. of a few that we've built. We've built many. This is a private label app that we built for the University of Virginia, and this is for their NIL training. This is not built yet. So we have a financial advisor that wants to train the University of Virginia student athletes on the complexities of this new NIL product. So he's super niched. He's going to build it for this university and go on to other universities. So this has a custom academies. We created all these apps for him. Another one, this is Bible Launch. So Bible Launch is one of the first ever, I believe it's the first fully customized AI-powered Bible journey. So I have a thriving community in Bible Launch. We have people in there interacting. I have a full-time pastor, Chaplain Simon, is in Bible Launch, and people are in here every single day, and they're engaging with the community. And you'll see it's pretty active. Like people are enjoying the community, and they also have a place to welcome them. I have an affiliate portal. I have a custom Bible scripture journey. So you can answer some questions, and the AI creates a 30-day custom journey for someone. They get custom scriptures and assignments. I'm just giving an example of how you can take a passion that you may have and create a really powerful application. This is a framework to read the actual scripture every day. So you just put the scripture in there, and it'll give you a daily study framework. And it'll also produce, at the end, it will produce a custom post. So this is a pretty good app. This has been a big success story. And in the app, we've created things for kids. We've created different chat bots. We created different products. This is a powerful platform. This is called the Family Business Facelift. This is a couple entrepreneurs that are specifically helping family business owners learn, leverage, and launch AI in their business. So they're taking legacy businesses that are typically low tech, and they built an entire platform that allows a family business owner to access some of these apps. You'll see how they privately they reskinned all the apps, and they deleted a lot of them because they didn't want to have too many apps. They have a content creation, they have a funnel folder, they have a family business structure funnel, they have conversational chat bots that can help them. This is a really powerful platform. And then I'll give you another example. This is one I built for financial advisors. This one's called Wealth Mentor. So in Wealth Mentor, we have created a series of chatbots family office. So we took a system. This is a system that one of the advisors I know built called the Tax-Free Living System. And as people go through the curriculum, they're able to book calls, right? They're able to, engage with the entrepreneur through the app and through the platform. He also curated some books that he likes to teach them. So he turned books into content and put it in the app. Then he has these virtual experts that someone can engage with. If you have questions about financial planning or college or retirement or banking or credit, he created AI experts for that. He did it for insurance. He did it for tax and legal planning. So think about the value of this platform if he can say to his customers that you can engage with my virtual experts for free for becoming one of my customers. Like, it's a good offer. Save them a lot of time, save them a lot of fees. So that's pretty much it. We have this is a platform teaches people how to book writing platform that teaches people how to go ahead and write and author a book from scratch. Platform is, you see, it's different. It looks a little different, and these different ways that you can put your platform out there. All right, so how are we looking? 48 minutes in. So I wanted to take a little time to prepare you. All right, so here's what we're going to do. This morning I was thinking about what can we build today, and I swear to you, and I can prove it to you, I did not bring anything prepared. I thought, what could be built today? And I had the AI do some deep research. I want to find an unmet demand. I want to find a product that has an unmet demand. Like there's a very high owners that don't have technology to do their day-to-day job. They just don't have the basics. Scheduling apps.
You are breaking up a little bit. Sorry.
What's that?
I said you are breaking up just a little bit.
I am. Okay. Better?
I think it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to create this solution for these entrepreneurs that we can do something. So I came up with the concept of a home services app, and I'm going to call it Home Hero. So I'm going to now take you through the process. Like, let's pretend you do a little research and you find out, like, what's an unmet demand for a local business? Go ahead and put in the chat. What are some things that we could build for a local business that can help them make more money, save more money, or save time? Something that they don't have. Think about it. Like I thought about a kitchen company. Like most kitchen remodeling companies. I live in Puerto Rico, so it'll take you a month just to get someone to come over to your house, right? And then once they're there, they're going to put it on a notepad 95% of the time, and they're going to give you a ballpark guesstimate. So what does that entrepreneur need? They need marketing. They need a way to quote and get the best customer possible in the least amount of time. They need automation. They need an agent to follow up on leads. They need a mobile application that could sit in their phone that'll allow them to engage. So I'm going to start with a big idea. And the big idea brief is basically answering 13 questions about your customer. Is the folder, David, in the chat? I want everybody to go into the chat. There should be a workbook. Is there a workbook in there?
Yeah, let me move it over.
Yeah, there's going to be a workbook in there. It's called the AWS workbook. So I'm going to grab that, and you're going to have it in your.
Here, I'm just gonna move it in for you.
Okay. So I want you to go to that AWS workbook. I could put it in the chat too. So I'm going to share it. All right.
All right, it's in.
So all right. When you have a big idea, everybody, let me pull all this out. When you have a big idea, you're going to see this participant workbook. And I have the frameworks to build almost anything in here. All right. So there's 13 questions, and I call it an AI interview. So you can ask through a prompt, like if I were just using a regular prompt, and I'm going to do this because I don't know as a participant, some people here have our tools, some people here don't have our tools, but everybody has some AI knowledge base. So for the purpose of this training, I'm going to build everything in ChatGPT. In Deal, we have a program, we have an app that can do it as well called Ask Alex. If you have Atomic AI, it's called Ask TMAC, which is my app. But basically, I'm going to tell an AI to interview me with this prompt. And I'm going to have it interview me about these 13 questions. Okay. When I have the answers to these 13 questions, it's going to create a beautiful brief for me. Okay. And we're going to talk about the mechanism. It's going to tell you what the audience and all the challenges. So watch me do this for the application that I'm building. And this will move quite fast after we do this. I'm going to do it in two parts. I don't want people flipping out, right? So the first thing is I'm just going to copy and paste this in the chat. All right. So I'm going to now say, I'm actually going to do this prompt. I could do a prompt. As expert at interviewing entrepreneurs about a brand new idea they have called The Big Idea. The goal of this is to have you journalist and an expert and world-class leader in business trends. The answers that I have to these 13 questions, and you're going to turn it into client-facing product brief that gives me all the elements of this product, including the offer, the description of the product, its market advantage, the differentiations, the urgency, and the credibility that I hope to achieve to stand out in the marketplace for this unmet demand for this product. I want you to ask me these 13 questions. I will answer them at the end. When the questions are answered, I want you. It is important that you ask and don't ask me the next question until I've answered the current question. Do you understand? So sometimes I just literally ask so that it will. And I'm just going to feed it these 13 questions. Now, questions from something called the 16-letter sales. Okay. Disregard that first question. I'm going to feed you the 13 questions one at a time. Ask me them one at a time, and don't ask me another until the current question has been answered. All right, so I'm going to whip through this using this Voicen tool. A lot of people ask. This is a Google Chrome extension called Voicen. It literally. Okay, so oh, this is going to my memory here. I had to I gotta turn this stupid memory off. Probably some other product I built. Do not rely on any memory. I want you to ask me these questions in order. Oh. See. Second, these questions have. This particular one has. So I gotta find the 13 questions. Hold on one second. I have them here. I answered those in the last event. All right. Disregard that question. I'm going to feed you the 13. Feed me the next question after the current question has been answered. What industry will you be promoting your AI coach product? AI product. This is industry specific professionals that remodel kitchens, contractors. I want to target that are low tech. Perhaps they are a little further along in their journey. Maybe they have 10 or more years experience. They have a lot of resources. They're making a lot of money. They have an excellent brand, but they have no technology, nor do they understand it, and they don't think they can afford it. So it'll take that information and it'll turn it into an avatar. The primary pain point that these people have is they're not leveraging technology in their business, and they're still operating 30 years in the past, relying on antiquated paper-based businesses. They're not keeping accurate records. They're not following up on leads. They don't have a good database. They're not driving people to the review process to build and bolster their authority. They are way behind, and their perception is they don't know how to build an application that will help them. And the reality is we can. Probably for the cost of what they would make on one simple remodeling project. Not $50,000 to $100,000, which is what they have been quoted in the past. So like I'm giving the data, like I could talk to this thing a lot longer. Experience success. What transformation will they experience? They will have an automated process to attract a client, give them a quote by uploading a picture of their kitchen to an application. That picture will be turned into an estimate, and also will be turned into a way that they could book their